Hello and welcome to the talent monetization training with Dicta. And in this particular course, you're going to learn how to discover, harness, and monetize your talent. So if you're like me, who some time ago never knew what she could do with the talent she has inside of her, I didn't know what to do with my writing talent and the other talents I had, because I had the talent of organizing things and all of that, but I didn't know how to make use of those talents. I never knew that I could use my talent, my writing talent, most especially to build a business and also to position myself for income, impact, and influence. So if you're like me, who some time ago never knew all these, now this particular training is for you. If you're also somebody who is confused about which talent he or she has, this training is also for you. If you're also somebody who is looking for how to multiply his or her income using what he or she knows, this training is for you. If you're also somebody who is looking at earnings from what he or she knows, maybe you are somebody who you don't have what you're doing now, you're looking at how you can discover something inside of you, the potential you have, this particular training is for you. Now, I want to welcome you to this training. I want you to take your time to go through this training from the beginning to the end, because if you stop halfway, trust me, you won't get the results you want. But if you complete this training, you're going to get that particular result that you have been envisioning. You will get the result that you have been trying to get, probably because you don't know how to discover, harness, and monetize your talent. So this particular training is going to help you set you or put you in a pedestal and help you to increase your income, at least for the second half of the year and going forward. So if you are right on this training, I want to welcome you to the talent monetization training with Dicta. Okay, so now, who is Okoye Ijeoma Dicta? Now, Okoye Ijeoma Dicta is an editor, writer's coach, a business trainer, book project consultant, content manager and advisor, and a personal development strategist. I help individuals and businesses increase their income, impact, and influence, and also help them to great results for whatever project they are working on. Now, specifically as a content manager and advisor, I help boost business influence, help them to push their products, their services to the public, and to help them get heard, known, and seen. Okay, so let's go forward to understanding talent. A lot of people will say, what is talent? And I don't really understand what talent is, or maybe they don't know what talent they have inside of them. They don't know which particular one is needed for their profitability. There are a lot of factors that are surrounding talent, and that's why I will always use this particular circle. I call this particular circle the dimensions of talent mastery. Is the dimensions of talent mastery. Why? Because with these particular dimensions, we have the what, the why, the how, and the when. It's going to help you understand talent. It's also going to help you know which particular one you need to push up, harness, and also create a brand around. It's not just about saying you have a talent. There are talents that might not really bring you the result that you want, but there are also talents that will bring you that particular result that you need. So this particular dimension cycle is going to show you what you do, why, how, and when. Now, when we look at the what, we are looking at what talents really are. So talents are actually mental strengths. They are actually innate abilities. They are most times not even born. Most talents sometimes can also be learned. Okay, so most of those things, I just look at talent as mental strength. Whatever you can do with your brain, whatever you can do thinking, whatever thing you can do out of creativity is a talent. Okay, so talents are basically mental strengths, and they are used for success in professions, if you want to achieve a particular success in a particular job, in a particular career, in anything you're doing, activity or task. Now, the talents you have will give you a trajectory. It will give you to speed up your movement and growth because you have something that you're going to use to apply to the project or task you have at hand, and which will bring you results, or not just any result, but effective results. So that's basically what talents are. Talents are things that will help push your brand, push your task, your career, push you and give you result in what you want to do. So then they are basically innate abilities, because most times they come naturally. They come naturally to an individual, and most of these abilities tend to become more mastered. Most of this talent become mastered when you are consistently learning, developing, and practicing that particular talent. So it's not just about having talent or knowing what talent are. Talent are basically things that you have learned, or that you came to the world naturally with. Okay, but over the time you begin to see the need to master it through practice, through consistency, and also through personal development. Now, what are skills? Skills are basically talent that has been harnessed. Okay, you may see somebody who has not really got a particular talent. When he or she goes on to learn that particular thing, it becomes a skill because he or she has mastered it. It's not something that he or she came into the world naturally with. He or she took steps, went further to master that particular talent. So that's basically what skills are when compared to talent. Now, we now want to look at the next dimension, which is why. Now, you cannot start understanding talent if you don't have a reason for it. Everything has a reason behind it. So if you are looking at understanding talent, you need to ask yourself, why should I understand this talent? Why should I look at talent? Why should I focus on harnessing, discovering, and monetizing my talent? All of these are going to help you, because as an individual who wants to grow, you need to have a reason. You need to have a strong why, something that pushes you to take action. A lot of people do not have any strong one. That's more reason when they get started on their journey to discovering their talent, on their journey to harnessing their talent, they get frustrated over time and they just give up because you don't have a strong why. Why did I have to look for my talent? Why do I have to sit down and ask myself several questions as an individual? Because I had a strong why. I wanted to become better. I didn't want to remain the person I was earlier. So I told myself, I have got something inside of me. Why shouldn't I look within and ask and discover that particular thing? Why can't I look within and know what is really inside of me that I should do? Okay, so that's more reason I took time to ask myself several questions. And on the journey to discovering those talents, my why held me. It made me continue saying, yes, you have something you want to achieve, so keep pushing, don't give up. So your why would tell you why you need to understand talent, why you need to discover yours, why you need to harness yours, and why you need to monetize yours. So if your talent is not giving you what you want, it is because you didn't have a why. Okay, when you know your why, probably if your why for discovering your talent is to make enough money, it means that the talent you are going to harness should be something that brings you profitability. So if you don't have a why, you will keep making mistakes on your journey to discovering, harnessing, and monetizing your talent. So another thing is that you need something to push you. Just like I said, that you need something to push you, and those are things I call the standpoint of your why dimension: their income, impact, and influence. Now, that's the three standpoints I believe everybody who wants to harness his or her talent should look up to. The three standpoints I think everybody who wants to profit from a talent, who wants to discover him or herself, should look up to. So you ask yourself, why should I look Or why should I discover my talent? Okay, you say, okay, I want to make money. That's your income. I want to impact life. That's impact. And I want to build influence. That's influence. So your three standpoint, which is the income, impact, and influence, will help you discover your talent. It will push you to discover your talent. You won't just give up on the journey. Okay. So the next one is your how. It's not just about telling yourself that you want to discover your talent. How should you discover the talent? What is needed? It's not just about saying, I have the talent of writing, I have the talent of speaking, I have the talent of drawing, I have this particular talent. You need to know, how can you harness this talent? How can you bet this genius you have inside of you? Most people do not understand that talents are basically genius. Okay, I will share a story with you. When I was starting out, when I was beginning to become intentional, I told myself that I have something inside of me. There was something I needed to do, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. Okay, it took me a year plus to know how. And the moment I knew how, I began to grow exponentially, because the how there made me grow so fast. I wasn't making mistakes, because I just had it like a template on my hand and I was running with the template. Now this is the same thing everybody who wants to understand talent should do. You need to have a how. Your how will show you how things should be done, how you can harness the talent and bring results from your talent. And then your how is also going to show you how to move your talent from the dormant state to an active state. It's not just about you saying you have a talent. Some talents are just dormant because you don't know how to move it from the dormant stage to the active stage. And then your how is also going to show you problems and how to solve those problems. Because if your talent is not solving a problem, definitely that talent is not going to bring you that standpoint. That's your income, the impact, and the influence. You need something that solves a problem for somebody else to really say that you have impacted their lives. Okay, so that is so. And again, the last dimension is when. This is the problem a lot of people have. A lot of people within the ages of 16 and 25, they find themselves confused about, when should I start growing? When should I start looking within myself to discover who I am, to discover my purpose and all of that? When you don't know what you want, definitely you won't know when to do it. So when you know what you want and why you want it and how to do it, your when becomes easy. You want to even start that moment because you are now equipped with the things that you need for that particular task. So your when will tell you, your what, your why, and your how will tell you when you should start. Now, when you should start is today, now. Start now. And that's one reason I want to show you how you can now grow from the person who was in a dormant state, or who didn't know that he or she has a talent, to somebody who has harnessed a talent and discovered a talent and also begin to monetize that particular talent. And the when is now. So let's go on. Now, what to discover talent? Discovering talent. It's not everybody who has a talent that knows that he or she has a talent. There are people that even know they have one talent, but they don't know that they have another talent. Probably because they see it as ordinary, they see it as not useful, they see it as something that may not really bring the result that they want. A lot of things go on in the minds of people. So you need to know what basically is the talents you have. You need to discover the talent. And how can you discover the talent? I use a strategy I call the Ahe strategy. Now, this Ahe strategy is going to help you ask yourself different questions and also know which of them is the talents that you have. Now, let's move on to the first one, which is the ability. That's the letter A. When we look at ability, we are looking at what you can do. Okay, we said that talents are basically mental strengths, things you can do, right? There are things that ordinarily you don't even need anything to ask you. You don't need anybody to ask you to do these things. These are things you have inside of you. Those are things you want to do. Now, abilities are basically things that you can do. So when you ask yourself, what can I do? What is this thing that I want to do always? If I'm working, I like drawing, and I find myself using my feet to draw flowers and all of that. I find myself writing stories. I find myself talking about business, talking about this particular thing, anything you know how to do. Some people are very good with handcrafting. A lot of people have talents. Some of your talents are not even things you might use for on the surface. Your talents might be secondary abilities. Let's say something like if you're running a business, okay, you're running a company, and you have a particular talent. Maybe you have this talent of writing. You will find yourself being able to come up with creative content to boost your business. Okay, so if your talent might not really be primary, it might be secondary, it might be talents that are being used to grow a business, talents that are being used to build an influence, talents that are being used to create results in another dimension, in another project. So your talents are basically abilities. So you ask yourself, what is this thing I can do? What is this ability I have inside of me? And I know I can really perform without persons or without instructions. Now let's go to the next one, which is the H. That's your hobbies. A lot of people like things. You find yourself doing things over and over again. You like this thing. It's something that gives you joy whenever you're doing it. A lot of people just enjoy doing certain things. They are happy when they are doing it. These are talents. Okay, they are talents. So you need to know that. You ask yourself, what's this thing I love doing? It might even be a sporting activity. It might really be maybe skydiving, anything. Just those hobbies you know that are basically giving you joy. Those things you know that you do that gives you joy, they are your hobbies. Okay, so the next one is the E, which is the expert attraction. And what's the expert attraction? When we look at expert attraction, we are looking at what people will always look up to you for. A lot of people come to ask you questions concerning certain things. People come to ask you questions concerning your business, concerning a particular craft, concerning a particular skill. Anything people ask you question concerning is actually something that you should look up to and you should consider harnessing. So they are not basically things that you say, okay, because somebody is asking you question concerning, it means that maybe you just know it a little and there is no need for harnessing it. There's a need for harnessing it because somebody sees you as an expert, somebody sees you to know something concerning it, and they believe that you have a result or a solution to their problem. So you shouldn't say because of the things that you are trying to do, or maybe because the solutions you're giving is just ordinary. They are not ordinary. They are things that you can use to grow your income, impact, and influence. And that's what they call the expert attraction, something that attracts people to you. It might be that you know how to organize projects. Let's take, for instance, there are a lot of people here who they know how to organize projects. They know how to, if somebody has a project at hand and you spill it to them, these people will just strategize. They'll just show you what to do within a minute and you are done. You're getting results. If you're somebody like that, know that you have this project management system. You have it. So it's something that is inside of you. You need to begin to see how can you harness it, how can you monetize it. Okay, so that's the AHE strategy. You ask yourself, what can I do? You ask yourself, what do I love doing? And you ask yourself, what do people love asking me questions on? It will help you to discover your talents. And then the next is understanding the talent trajectory triangle. And what's the talent trajectory triangle all about? It's the triangle that shows us how you move from being just talent or having just talents to being a skill and then to monetizing it. So we want to use something for example, if you keep a book on a table, it remains on that particular state, on that particular table. Now, until something pushes it or pulls it, there will be no movement. But the very moment something pushes it, there will be a movement of from that particular state it was to another state. Now let's explain this better with the Newton law of motion, the first one, which states that a body is at rest until it is being acted upon by an external force. We are looking at it from this angle. Every talent that has not been acted upon remains dormant. Every talent that has not been acted upon remains steady. It remains in its position. You won't get results with it because it has not been acted upon. Every talent that has not been acted upon cannot become a skill, and it cannot bring you money. So you need to understand how to move your talent from the talent state to the skill state and then to the business state. And that's what the talent trajectory triangle is all about. Moving your talent from the dormant state in the lower side of the triangle, which we can see here, which has talent, and then moving it to the skill, which implies that you have mastered it. You have mastered it. You will now be able to use it to solve problems for people. And this is what I just call the art, the science, and the business. The art is the talent. That's what you use. It's actually something that is inborn, innate, or you've learned over time. Then the skill is the science of it, being able to use the thing you know to create problems, solutions for people's problem. Okay, being able to position yourself as a solution provider. That's it. So your talent moves to the skill stage when it begins to solve problems for people, and then it moves to the business stage when it begins to bring you money. Beautifully enough, your talent can move straight up to the skill and to the business state within a very short while if you know how to monetize. Your talent can move from the talent stage to the skill and the business stage if you know how to position yourself and build a business around what you know. A lot of people are still in the skill stage. A lot of people have discovered their talent. The people harnessed it. Most of them paid to harness their talent, but they are afraid of making it a business, and that's where the problem lies. The problem lies in you being unable to say, this is what I know, and putting a price around what you know. There are a lot of people that are ready to pay you, but you are not ready to put a price. And that's more reason you're where you are, unable to say, this is the result I've gotten. You say you are passionate about something, but you are in that particular state claiming passion. You are in that particular state claiming passion when there are people who you are better than any from that same thing that you know. This is the point where you need to tell yourself that you don't want to play the skill game anymore. You want to move it to the business. And one good thing is this: when you begin over time to master this particular talent, you become an expert in it, and over time you want to earn from it, and people are ready to pay. It is just you saying, how should I build a business around this thing I know? What should I do to build a business around what I know? Okay, so you need to tell yourself that you are going to move from the raw state, the dormant state, to a state that brings you money and also brings traction to your personality. Okay, so let's move on. There are factors you need to consider before harnessing talent, and I call those factors the standpoint for you when you're starting out. Okay, when you have said, okay, you have actually discovered a talent, you know that this talent is inside of you. Those standpoints are going to help you to say, this is what I can use this talent for. This is the result this talent can bring for me. So when you understand this before harnessing your talent, it will help you grow faster. The first one is distinctiveness. Distinctiveness is that you should first of all understand that you're not the only person who has this talent. A lot of people don't understand it. There are 1,001 persons like you who know what you know. There are 1,001 persons like you who do what you can do. So you need to ask yourself, what makes you distinct from those people? What distincts you from them? What makes you unique from them? You can't just tell yourself that you're a writer and you write the same way everybody writes and there is nothing that differentiates you from them. You can't tell yourself that you are a project manager or that you're a strategist and you do things the same way every other person does. No. You need to be distinct. You need to be unique. You need to discover that particular thing that sets you apart from every other person. And I'm going to show you how to understand this particular standpoint of distinctiveness. First of all, you should know that people buy exclusivity or exceptionality. Now, why do people buy exclusivity? Let's just look at that. That is EXCLUSIVIVIVITY. Yes. So exclusive. Let's just put that exclusive. People buy exclusive when things are exclusive. Okay. Now you need to know that not everybody wants something the same way. You might be offering something, the other person is offering something, 3 persons, 4 persons are offering the same thing. But somebody who wants to buy from another person because there is a distinct nature or characteristics in what that person has to offer. There is something unique in what that person has to offer. That's distinctiveness. Okay? People also want to buy accessibility. Accessibility in the sense that they want to see how much access do they have to what you know. A lot of people, you have something, you have a particular knowledge, but people cannot access it. Why? Because that particular knowledge is still in your head. It's always in your head. People can access it. And how can people access it? When you have that knowledge out as courses, you have it in books, you have it as master classes, you have it as training sessions, webinars, podcasts, video podcasts, a lot. That is when people begin to harness it. You need to understand all of these first before you go ahead to harness your talent, so that you know that if your talent is not something that is distinct, that can help you become distinct, if your talent is not something that people can access, then there is no need going further to harness it. Your talent should be something people can access easily. Okay? Your talent should be something people can say, okay, let me pay you for this so that you can offer me this service. If people can't pay you for you to give them something you have, then that talent should not even, you don't take action on that talent. Then the next one is teachability. Can you teach people that particular thing you know? Is this something that people can learn from you? Can somebody model you to get the results that you're getting? Another question. Then the next one is durability. How long can this thing be useful? Okay, there are talents that are basically not useful. Talents are good, but there are talents that are basically not going to push you in the long run. Maybe they're just talent that you need for your everyday thing, and at the end of the day, you're done with it. But there are talents that over time, you need them to live, you need them to earn, you need them to build income, impact, and influence. So that is what you talk about when you're talking about durability. How long is it going to keep you in the pedestal of influence? How long is it going to keep you high in the stage of profitability, of impact? You need to know how long, okay, so that you don't push yourself into investing in it and at the end of the day, you won't get it. A lot of people won't tell you this. A lot of people just tell you, go and harness your talent, go and discover, harness your talent. But when they don't teach you the standpoint for you to know how long, how accessible, can you teach it, how distinct, then trust me, the last one, which is profitability, is not going to come. So you also need to ask yourself the profitability aspect of this particular talent. A lot of people are frustrated. They cannot earn from what they know because they did not ask themselves this question when they wanted to start. Profitability. Profitability looks at the possibility of you earning from that particular talent. There are talents that you cannot earn from. Okay? If you are in a country like mine, Nigeria, there are talents that you know that even if you are the best in it, people won't pay you for it. Rather, people want to pay for something else. And how can you ask yourself those kind of, know which kind of talent that people will always want to pay for? These are talents that you ask, say, okay, can people pay for this thing because it's going to help them earn more money. If people, if that talent cannot help people earn more money, trust me, people wouldn't want to pay for it. Just a very few, let's say 5 out of 100 might decide to pay for that particular talent, which is actually a poor number. So you need to ask yourself, this talent I want to harness, can people pay for it? That's another standpoint you need to consider before harnessing your talent. Okay? Now let's move on to the talent profitability wheel. Like we said, your talent needs to be something that brings you money. So if it does not bring you money, it will be very difficult for people to pay you. Okay? It means that it's difficult for people to exchange their hard-earned money for you. So that talent is something that should bring you money. So how can you identify a talent that brings money? First one, audience scalability. Audience scalability implies that people are now looking up to you for results or for solutions to their problem, and they are ready to pay. They are ready to pay. It's quite different from the fact that people just want a solution to something, but if you ask them to bring money, they won't bring. No. You know that there are solutions that people need. There are solutions that your audience need. So these solutions, if you put a price on them, people will pay. Those are talents that can bring you money. Okay? Audience scalability. First of all, you can do an audience scalability test. You can ask people, what is this thing that you want to learn from me? Okay? Now, the one that has the highest vote or the highest mention, just put it at 10%. 10% of the people that said yes can pay for that thing. 10%. So if it means that if 100 people said yes, that this is what I want to learn from you, it means that 10 persons out of that 100 persons want to pay for that thing or would want to pay for it. Then another thing is industry viability. That industry that talent belongs to, how viable is it? Is it an industry that is not known? Is it an industry that people don't pay attention to? Or people have not even heard about the industry before? Or let's say it's existing, but people don't need it. Viability. You need to be sure that the industry is something that people want to invest in. It's something that brings ROI for people, return on investment. If I invest into this particular thing I want to, you're asking me to invest into, would it bring me profits? That's the industry viability scaling we are asking you to check. Check for the viability of the industry. There are some industries, especially industry in a country like mine. Let's take, for instance, the mental health industry. There are a lot of people that don't pay attention to their mental state. There are a lot of people that don't pay attention to their mental health. So it means that if you are going into mental health, there is every possibility that you will not get the traction and the profits you want. It does not mean that you won't get the money, but you won't get it the way another person in another industry will get it. That's the industry viability we are talking about. How viable is it? And then the next one is the market needs. Apart from your audience, who else needs this particular thing? Can you build your audience to the people? Or let's say if you have an audience of 2,000, can you build an audience of 5,000 more persons who need this particular thing? Because a lot of people just look at their audience and say, okay, maybe you have 5 audience or 10 audience who needs this particular thing that you want to harness, this particular talent you want to harness, and you think that is it. You need to ask yourself, outside this audience I have, if I take action to build more audience, would they want what I have? These are questions you need to ask yourself when checking the profitability of a talent. And then the next one is the ability to market to niches. Ability to market to niches. Now, there is what we call niche marketing, and there's what we call marketing to niches. Niche marketing is you trying to sell in that particular niche that you have. Let's say you are in the writing industry and you're just trying to sell only to the writers in your industry. And now there's another thing we call the marketing to niches, meaning that you are going outside your niche to market to other niches. So you being able to provide solutions to other niches. Now ask yourself, the talent that you have inside of you, can it be marketable to other niches? Can people in other niches make use of the solution that you have? If people outside other niches cannot make use of that solution, it means that you have just 1% profitability scaling, because people cannot make use of what you have. If people cannot make use of what you have, it means they cannot exchange their money for it. So you need to ask yourself the possibility of you earning from other niches. Don't just focus on your niche. Ask yourself, this talent I'm having, can I use it, or can I sell it to other niches? Can I sell it to the business niche? Can I sell it to the fashion industry? Can I sell it to the makeup? Can I sell it to the social media industry? Can I sell it anywhere? Your talent should be something that is marketable to other niches. So it's the ability to market to niches. Don't just focus on niche marketing. Focus also on marketing to niches. I guess you must have not heard this before, but it's very important when checking out talent that can bring you money. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Now, we have come to the process of harnessing your talent. When we look at harnessing talent, we are looking at a lot of things. So first of all, you need to ask yourself, is my mind ready for this particular thing? A lot of people, your mindset needs to be worked on. You need to work on your mindset. You need to tell yourself, I want to harness this talent. Agree with yourself. Agree inside yourself that this particular state that your talent is, that is not okay for you. You want to step out from the state of being dormant to a state of activity. You need to change your mindset, work on your mindset, activate your mindset in order for you to start harnessing your talent. Then the next thing is learnability. You need to be open to learning. You need to be open to learning. Don't be dormant. Don't stay in your comfort zone and expect yourself to grow. Be able to learn. Learn from those who have gotten results. Learn from those who have gotten results. Open yourself to learning. Read books. Register for courses. Courses that will help you move your talent from a dormant stage to a state that brings you consistent income. Consistent. When I talk about consistent, I don't mean the money that you just earn once in a year. I talk about something that brings you consistent income. You should get to a stage where your talent brings you money even when you're sleeping. Perfect, right? Let's move on to the next. Exposure. Your exposure, or the exposure of your talent, is going to help you master that particular talent. Let's say you have a talent now and you're not using it to for people, to solve problems for people. The time you make first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, when you're not doing it always, you're always doing that particular thing, using it to solve problems for people, over time you become a master of that talent. You have mastered the talent. Okay, so continuous exposure to mastery helps you become an expert. Continuous exposure to activities surrounding your talent helps you become a master and an expert of that particular talent. So you need to expose yourself. Don't hide. Don't stop hiding your talent. Use it to solve problems for people. And then the last one is consistency. When you start solving problems for people, you should also know that you need to be consistent. Don't just do it for 1 month and you tell yourself nothing is coming. No. There is what we call the process wheel. The process wheel implies that you begin to go around something, learning it till you get to a stage where you begin to earn consistently from it, or you begin to get results from it. So don't try to maneuver the process wheel. Be consistent. In as much as you have decided that this is your talent that you want to harness, be consistent in it, and you will find yourself getting results. Now let's move on to the next, which is the monetizing your talent. This is the stage where a lot of people just tell themselves, no, I can't go further. No, I can't get results in this. I think I just need to give up. It's not bringing me money. It's not doing this. A lot of excuses at this point. A lot of people just monetize their talent and they don't know what else to do with it. It's something that is bothering a lot of persons, and I'm going to show you how to monetize your talent now. Number 1, have a selling mindset. I don't have the time to start telling you you can earn money. I'm not coming here to motivate you. I'm coming here to tell you the facts, to tell you what you need to do. So number 1, have a selling mindset. A selling mindset implies that you are ready to sell. Guys, ladies, if you're not ready to sell, if you're not ready to place a price on what you know, definitely people wouldn't pay you. It's as simple as that. When your mindset is already telling you that people can't buy from you, when your mindset is already telling you that your family, it's only your family and your friends that you have in a list and then they cannot pay you. If your mind is telling you that, it means that you don't have a selling mindset. Tell yourself that I want to start selling and people will buy, whether they like it or not. Because when your mind has already agreed that you are going to sell this thing, you will find yourself earning from it. It's as simple as that. So have a selling mindset. Change the mindset of I want to give it out for free so that people will know me. People don't know you because you're giving for free. People know you because you're giving results. Yeah. People know you because you're solving a problem. So if you have a problem, if you have a solution to their problem, they don't mind paying. They will pay you. So change that mindset of people won't pay me. People will pay you. Just have a selling mindset. Number 2, have products and services. You have something inside of you. Convert them to products and services. When you have decided to start selling, you can now say, this is what I know. This is the price I'm going to place on it. People are going to pay for it, and people will definitely pay. Products and services. You begin to have something like books, you begin to have something like training, services, you begin to offer done for you services, and you can also offer do it yourself services. Now, when we say done for you services, we are now looking at maybe designs. We're looking at you offering the services to people who are maybe busy and cannot take time to do those services themselves, and maybe you just have the solution and only you can solve the problem, so you are doing it for them. And then you can also have done for you, okay? And then you also have do it yourself. Do it yourself is that you're showing them how to do it. Maybe you can have products, you can have master classes, you can have training to show them how to do things. You see, it's very easy. Just have products, have services, and say, this is what I want to offer for sale. And whenever people come to you, you say, okay, yes, I have this particular thing, and I think you need to buy. But first of all, you need to be somebody who is paying for people to pay you. That's another thing on a different note. That's another thing on a different note. You need to be able to pay for what you want to learn so that people can pay for what they want to learn from you. So you cannot be somebody who depends on free and you expect people to pay for what you know. No, it doesn't happen that way. It's because you are investing in yourself, and the ROI, that's the return on investment, is coming when people see the things that you have been doing, the results you're getting, and they want to pay for what you have to offer. And then the last but not the least is the digital marketing. Now, when we talk about talent, we have gone past the period of old school marketing to the new school marketing. And the new school marketing is the digital marketing, where you can use social media to sell. You can use social media to build traction. You can use social media to improve your income cash flow. You can also use social media to build yourself, position yourself as a personality and as a brand that people want to invest in you. Now, digital marketing is very important because a lot of people just have something that people want, but they're afraid. They don't know if people are going to buy these things from them. And the reason they're afraid is that they don't have a platform. They don't know how to build a platform that people will accept what they have. So at this particular stage, you need to tell yourself that you are moving to the digital stage. So you need to learn how to sell online. You need to learn it. There are strategies for it. There are models for it. There are things you need to know about digital marketing. So invest in learning the pros and the cons, the ins and the outs of digital marketing. Don't just tell yourself that I can have this talent and you are not ready to know how to push it out to the public, how to sell to the public. That's another thing you need to learn when it comes to monetizing your talent. So look at selling mindset, look at product and services, and then we're looking at digital marketing. Now, learn how to sell online. At this particular stage, if you don't know how to sell online, you are going to get frustrated because you just have something that you cannot sell, and it's a very bad thing. So you need to know how to sell online. It's very important because it will help you as an individual to improve your income, to boost your income. Let's say you already have a business and you have not brought your business online. You're missing a lot. You have a business and you're still playing small with your business. You are missing a lot. You have a business and you don't know how to communicate your value and have people pay you for this particular service that you're offering online. You are missing a lot. So you need to learn how to sell online. There are strategies, there are ways that you are going to learn all of this, and these are things you need to commit to. Don't just tell yourself that you've known your talent, you've discovered your talent, and you just remain where you are. There are a lot of people making it real big on the social media, so you need to learn how to sell online. So at this point, guys, we have come to a stage where I just need to tell you that the level of action you take on this process of discovering, harnessing, and monetizing your talent will discover or will tell the money that you're going to make. Is going to determine the amount of money you're going to make. So your action will improve your money state. At this particular point, you don't need to stay broke. You don't need to allow yourself stay confused over what you are going to do to make money. When you have something inside of you, maybe you have a business that you are running right now, but that business is not scaling. You don't know how to scale that business, scale your income, because you are in that particular stage where you don't know how to sell online, you don't know how to push your brand online. At this stage, you need to tell yourself that I am ready to take action and I'm ready to improve my income. Hello guys, so we are right at the end of the talent monetization training, and I'm super excited because we have learned a lot. We learned the dimensions of understanding talent. We also learned how to build profitability, how the factors to consider. We also talked about the talent trajectory triangle, where we said that your talent is at the dormant stage until it is being acted upon to become a skill and a business. And also we talked about profitability wheel, the things you need to consider for you to know if your particular talent can bring you money. And then we also talked about harnessing the talent, and we talked about monetizing your talent, where we talk about you having a selling mindset, and we also talked about you having products and services, and of course you being able to sell online, digital marketing. That is the real thing now. So guys, I'm really quite excited to be training you on this particular stage, on this particular aspect of your life, of your career. If you have been somebody who is asking yourself, do I have talent? I hope now you know that you have talent, and now you can be able to harness your talent, and you can also be able to make money from your talent. If you really got value from this particular training, kindly like, share, and subscribe to this particular channel, as we bring you much video on you improving your life, your career, your business, and everything concerning you. I remain Okoye Ijeoma Dicta, and I'm super excited to be your trainer for this particular session, for this particular training. So I'll see you when next I see you. Do have a wonderful day.